what's doing, guys? Back with a fresh vinyl video. Today it's episode 7 of the Bandai Marathon. That's what's up. And we're doing Toho 1962 film King Kong vs. Godzilla. Bam. Okay? Alright, so King Kong vs. Godzilla, the first time that these two legendary monsters plug their legendary monsters met on the big screen. It was a big deal. Yes, it was. Okay? Clearly, King Kong was brought up to size for Godzilla because Kong in the 33 film, he was maybe like 30, 40 feet or something like that. I don't know. That's okay. Doesn't need to. All that Japan did, Toho, is like, we're going to bring him up to Godzilla size. That's what's going to happen there. All right? So, 62 film. Now, we're in the 60s. We're in the 60s Godzilla films. So, the figures are going to start piling up on the table as we go through these films, and I'm pretty excited to talk about the Showa movies and their Bandai counterparts, okay? So, starting over here with the 62 Godzilla. This is the first Bandai figure. The first Bandai final figure. This figure was released in 1983. That's what's stamped on the bottom of the foot. Clearly, it was making its way late 83-ish, 1984s. This is also as old as me. I am old as shit, dirt, and vinyl. 1983. So this figure is 41 years old. I'm 41. I'll be 42 this year. So technically, this will be 42 years old, these figures are. This one here, right here in this hand. Okay? Now, for 1983, Bandai just getting into the vinyl figures. Clearly, the sculpting and the detail was not as what we have today. But considering it's 1983, this figure, it's pretty damn cool. You can't knock this. You can't. You just can't knock vintage. This is technically vintage Bandai at this point. But it's definitely, when you look at this figure, you could tell it's a 1962 King Goji. Godzilla 62, okay? So, the face, definitely the 62 Godzilla, dorsal plates and all that good stuff, his body, his arms. It's there. I mean, is it suit accurate? No. He's just like a hot mess. His body's just weird all over the place looking. But it's an awesome figure. This is a must-have for a Bandai collection. This is where it began. Okay? Overall, the sculpt, it's not, like I said, it's not horrible, but the proportions are just wonky. He looks like the Cookie Monster or something that you would see on Sesame Street. Like his side, it's just pushed in. I don't know if I should try to heat it up with a hairdryer, maybe have his stomach just pop out a little bit, but I'm not going to mess with it. We'll talk about this one in a minute, but the figure, the original 62, it's made in a harder vinyl, so definitely not on the soft scale size vinyl. What the hell am I saying? It's not the same vinyl that we get with Movie Monster Series figures today, okay? So this is harder vinyl. If you do heat it up with a hairdryer, it will get soft and squishy. But just so I don't hit anything over here. Move. So arms articulation, nothing in the legs, some in the tail, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3 points of articulation. The figure, it's made in green vinyl. Clearly, the only paint apps that we have is on the toenails, dorsal plates, across the tail, fingernails, his chest, and his face. Silver highlights for the dorsal plates. Those actually look pretty good. And I won't lie, this figure, it's actually in really good condition. Oh, wait, I forgot. The calves move. Right there, okay? But it's a great looking figure. I do have a couple paint scuffs on dorsal plates. I think this is actually the second one that I owned. The first one that I bought, there was a crack in the vinyl. So what can happen with these harder vinyl figures, if they're cold or hard like this, and you drop it, it will crack, and you don't want that. That's not fresh. That's a mistake. Okay? So be careful with these figures. But yeah, that's his doofiness. When he was released, he came in a plastic bag with a twist tie at the top, and the tags were detached. Tags, plastic tag, 62 Godzilla on that side, and this side we got the Godzilla 64. That's okay. We love the 64. And then Bandai came, included their information tag with it, so those both were detached. So I do have the plastic bag. It's somewhere in a bin, and I'm not going to find it. But I have it with the twist tie. So that's how much. That's how this figure was released back in '83. Price wise, I don't remember. I mean, I don't know what it went for back in the '80s. It was probably maybe like $10, give or take. So if you were looking for one today with the tags, and I mean, would you stop dancing over there? You're probably drinking berry juice. You're gonna fall down. Just lay down until we get to you. But the plastic tags, this is in real mint condition. Not a ding or anything on it. This thing is in great condition. So I would think you're probably going to spend somewhere between $100 and $200 to get with the tag. Maybe a little bit less, depending on who you're buying from. I'm not an expert with this stuff. I'm not really the one to ask about pricing. That's not my area at all. I just like talking about toys. All right. So that's the original 83. So moving over to, wait, hold on. I don't have it anymore. So 1995, 94, 95, when the 40th anniversary Memorial Box set came out, the 62 was reissued. Okay? So it was reissued with this sculpt. The difference is, all right, so what's this one? This is not the Memorial Box version. This is the Forever Series version. Okay? The Forever Series came out in 96. That was a set with 6 figures. Awesome. Must have, must have, must have. I have all 6. I will not be selling those. They're awesome. But the 62 Godzilla that came in the Forever Series is the same sculpt as the 40th anniversary one. You follow me? Good. The difference between the original 62 and the newer sculpted one is the dorsal plates. As you can see, the dorsal plates were reduced in size, not as bulky and big as the original 1983 counterpart, okay? I want to say the 40th anniversary figure was also in softer vinyl, but it might have been done in harder vinyl still at the time. But the 96 Forever Series is definitely in softer vinyl, but the same sculpt as the 40th anniversary one. If you want to check out a video I did like 10 years ago with the 40th anniversary Memorial Box set, that's where you can see that figure there. But yeah, so moving on to this one, the Forever Series. Forever Series came out in 96. King Goji reissued again, this time with a darker paint job. Some, the highlights on the dorsal plates, fingers, nails, toenails, all that good stuff. And with a charcoal gray style paint job. Whereas the original was green, like we had said. The Forever Series is the first 62 figure to come with the tag. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's the only one to come with the hang tag, actually tagged on it. So the Forever Series version, it's got, clearly the Forever Series stylized tag there with Godzilla on that side with the licensing sticker. And then it has the Forever Series included posters that were part of that line, so we got Destroy. Actually, it's not really specific to the posters. It's all the movie posters there for every Godzilla film, which is pretty damn cool. But it's got Godzilla Forever. So that's the tag. Again, the figure, same points of articulation as the original and as well as the 40th anniversary Memorial Box set one. The exception here is the tail is glued into place. And that's it. So I really dig the Forever Series version. This set, I should probably do a separate video on the Forever Series when I'm done with this. But came out in 96. The figures were... Now, I actually don't remember if they were sold all together, but when I was hunting them down, and from what I understood is that the figures were sold separately, at least here in the United States. It was a challenge to get all 6. So the Forever Series had Godzilla, Mecha Ghidorah, Rodan, Baby Godzilla, Glitter Godzilla, Disco Godzilla, and the Meltdown Godzilla. So not the version that we got the theater exclusive Meltdown. That's a theater Meltdown. So it's like when Godzilla started melting. So that's the Forever Series. Epic set. All right. So those are those original 8-inch versions. Moving on to the 2005 Memorial Box set, Godzilla 62. This would be the first time that we saw the 62 Godzilla resculpted and brought down to the 6-inch scale, as with the majority, well, all of the 50th anniversary Memorial Box Set figures. New sculpt. This figure is and was a big deal at the time, still a big deal now. Because if you know the 50th anniversary Memorial Box Set, we got a lot of figures in that box set that have never been released before by Bandai, and or they had all new sculpts. Godzilla 84, new. 64 Godzilla, new. 62, new. 65, new. 67 Godzilla, new. 74 and 75, I forget. I think both of those were in there. With a Fate Godzilla, boom. So, epic set, must have. 62 Godzilla was one of the highest commanding figures of that set, along with the 64, the 84, all of them. But if I remember correctly, seeing this go for sale singly was like $150 or more. Even at G-Fest, in the last 10 years, you'd see this figure for sale for like $150. Insanity. The set, the 50th anniversary Memorial Box, that was only $300 when it was up for pre-order back in December of 2004 or whenever prior to that. Maybe it was the summertime. I don't remember. But the 62 Godzilla, whole new sculpt. This is exactly like suit accurate, much better than these two. Again, not knocking these for, from the time that they come from and for, what we were getting at the time. These are great figures, but this is when we talk about suit accuracy and what Bandai was going for in the early 2000s, and prior to that. But that was the start of getting really good sculpts, great paint jobs, suit accuracy. Awesome. So this Godzilla, he's got articulation at the arms and legs, and that's about it. Nothing at the head or tail. Paint job, he's done in a, I want to say like a charcoal. He's almost got like a greenish gray to him. The dorsal plates are painted nicely with the nice, dorsal, that off-white color with the grays in the middle to accent and make it pop, give nice depth, as is the toenails, fingernails, his head, his eyes, capture the suit exactly as what we saw in King Kong vs. Godzilla. So beautifully done. Beautiful, beautiful. No complaints about this. I should have brought up the X Plus 62. I'm not going to be able to get them out. I'm not planned. I didn't plan it well. But the original 62 Godzilla over here, 30 centimeter. Beautiful sculpt. Beautiful figure. Love it, love it, love it. And then, oh wait, yeah, we're going to pull him up. Just stay over there. All right, moving on to my favorite figure from Bandai for King Kong vs. Godzilla is King Kong. Okay? So just move you over here. Get him front and center. Let me talk about this figure for a bit. So, articulation, let's just get this stuff out of the way. Arms and his legs. That's it. Nothing else for articulation. The figure, it's done in brown vinyl. Comes with a hang tag. Stylized with King Kong on it. Really cool. It's got like a jungle-esque background on that tag. The figure, it's perfect. It's beautiful. The sculpt is amazing. This came out in 1993, and Bandai knocked it out of the park when this figure came out. His face, it's just got that deadpan look to him. Just as he was kind of looking around that mountainside as Godzilla was up top. Kind of looked like he's like, does he see me? Doofy looking. And I love it. Not knocking that design. Like, I love this design. This is like, for me, this is the as David would say, the quintessential Toho Kong design right here. In King Kong Escapes, it looks like he got like super drunk or whatever. But when I bought this figure, it was my first eBay purchase. It was when I discovered eBay. And I put in, Godzilla figures or Bandai Godzilla, and everything came up. And I'm like, oh my, what have I done? This is going to be a problem. And the first figure I went looking for was the King Kong figure. And when I found it, I'm like, oh my God, I can have it. Like, this was on my want list for a long time. Probably since 98. 99, give or take. I was like, I wanted this figure so bad. I remember seeing it at conventions, the G-Cons in New York, and G-Fans. I'm like, how do I get this? How do I get it? I honestly don't remember how much I paid. Maybe like $60, $70. Maybe less, maybe a little more. I don't remember. I bought it. It was 2004 when I got this figure. Again, it came out in 93, so it was probably about 10 or 15 bucks retail. Is it even on here? No, the original yen price is not on here. But this was my first eBay purchase, and I love this figure. If I was, having to save Bandai figures, like I'm grabbing him. But the figure, it's just perfection. His face is perfection. They really nailed the sculpt on this figure, and it's just a must-have. Unfortunately, King Kong's rights are like thrown up in trademark and who holds the copyrights hell type of thing. So that's why Kong in the Monsterverse is called Kong. They don't really call him, you never hear him called King Kong, so he's just Kong. Over here, let me grab him. I'm going to be careful. So this is the Roto Kaiju Kong, or as he was branded, Giant Gorilla. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Excuse me. And there you can see so what? This is like 8-inch scale, 10, 12. This is like 12 inches tall, 30 centimeter scale. Yeah, so 12 inches. This was by Beto Matalia, sculpted and painted and put together by Steve Serrajoli. I, was fortunate enough to get one through Steve, and I just love this. This goes perfect with the 62 Godzilla right behind me over here over my shoulder. But yeah, beautiful. I love it. As far as X Plus doing a Kong, they did a Kong many years ago, but it wasn't even licensed as King Kong. I don't remember if it was licensed at all. I think it was released in a bag. I could be wrong. I've seen it in person. I've held it in person. Another collector had it at the time. But yeah, not enough Showa King Kong love out there. But if you can get one, hunt this down. This is a beautiful figure from King Kong vs. Godzilla. All right, so I was supposed to piggyback McKinney Kong, and I don't have him. He's on my shelf. But I'm going to probably skip doing King Kong Escapes, and I'll probably just include the McKinney Kong somewhere else. Or maybe I will do a video. But up next will be 63? What was 63? Atragon? I don't have any Bandai figures for that. But the next episode of the Bandai Marathon will be my favorite Godzilla movie, Mothra versus Godzilla. Okay? I've rambled enough. Thank you for watching. If you're still sitting here, make sure you check out that shop tab on the homepage and get yourself a Fresh Vinyl shirt if you're looking. If not, that's cool. Hit that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate the followers after all these years. For anybody that's still tuning in, thank you. And I will see you on the next episode of the Bandai Marathon. And remember, people, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl. Bam!